All right, welcome back. So today I wanted to talk about seat posts, particularly suspension seat posts. Now, on this bike, I had a suspension seat post that I ran for a very long time, and I wanted to reduce the weight. So I bought this carbon fiber seat post, and it did reduce the weight, but it didn't feel any different initially until I went out on a trail and rode 5 miles. Then I felt the difference. I came back and I was extremely sore. I did not realize the benefit of a suspension seat post until I got rid of it. When I very first put it on, I couldn't tell a difference. It was not until I took it off. And not only that, but after a really long ride. So I plan to put the suspension seat post back on this bike. It weighs probably about a pound or something like that, but I think it's well worth it, especially since this is a hardtail. You know, I think if you have a full suspension, maybe a little bit more forgiving on the backside, but something like this, the suspension seat post, man, it was a real back saver. Now, I hear a lot of talk about dropper posts, but not much about suspension seat posts. And you may be wondering or thinking that you would prefer a dropper post over a suspension seat post. But there are dropper posts that have suspension built into them. And this seat post I actually had on the Kent Trouvaille. And it is a Exaform 860i, and it has probably maybe about a half of an inch of suspension built into it. And I didn't think much about that whenever I bought this. I bought this 860i because it was slightly cheaper than the 900i, which is just the standard dropper post. Now, I put this on the Kent Trouvaille. Of course, I had to turn it down so it would fit the seat tube. And I have a video on that if you want to watch that. But I got this one, put it in, ran it, and did never use the actual dropper post part of this. Almost never. I couldn't create the habit of doing it. In fact, I like to use my knee on the saddle to kind of brace myself and things like that. But this was added weight. I wasn't using the dropper, so I pulled it off. And same situation. Rode it after I got back. Man, I was very sore compared to what I typically would have been. Now, I didn't put that together initially until I did it with this bike. And then I had that click, little aha moment. It's the suspension seat posts that had caused that. So I plan to put those back on. Now, if you're looking for ways to have a more comfortable ride, you know, there are a lot of options. You can go with the pants that are padded. You can go with a comfort saddle. You can reduce the air pressure in your tires. There's a lot of things you can do, but I think the suspension seat post is well worth trying. I think for me anyways, it's pretty valuable. To me, it's a no-brainer, and I don't think I'll go without one, especially on a hardtail moving forward. So I know if you're out there and you're kind of more of a send it type guy that likes to go and hit the ramps and drops and all that stuff, that's a little bit of a different story. But if you're just the average guy that's just out wanting to enjoy the trails and not get too wore out over it, I think the suspension seat post is I just think it's the way to go. So especially since you can pick one up fairly inexpensive. I'm pretty sure this one was $25, and I found it 50% off for $12 on Amazon, something like that. Worst case, I think I paid $15 maybe. It's been a long time, but it was not a lot of money, and it was worth every penny in hindsight. So I just wanted to kind of let you guys know that if it helps you out on the trail, if it helps you be more comfortable, if it helps you be less sore at the end of a ride, definitely that's kind of what this video is about. So if you're into mountain bikes and you're into bike builds and things like that, definitely subscribe. If you like this content, if this content was helpful to you in any way, give me a like. So that's all I've got for today, and thank you for watching.